This is the Giraffes Don't Eat Steak podcast, a show that brings you marketing stories, tips, hints, and much more. A treat for those who want to succeed in business or marketers who just want to learn.
Hello, Michelle.
Hello, Erica. It's so great to be here.
Oh, thanks so much for joining me on my podcast. For my listeners, Michelle is my sister, but she's also like the most amazing business owner. And it's been a while that I wanted her to come and join us on this podcast. And she said yes. So here we are. Yay. Super excited.
Very, very excited for what we're going to talk about today.
But Michelle does the most amazing work with mindset and produces these beautiful, beautiful journals that helps you really just download. Actually, for those of you who know Pete Moles, who's also been on my podcast, he's such an awesome believer in The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. And Hal Elrod says you should journal every morning, right? So journaling is very popular, right? A lot of people are finding clarity and purpose in journaling. And so this is part of your mission, right, Shel?
It is. So, here at MindShift Theory, which is what we recently rebranded to, it is all about using the power of the mind to create a life that you love, right? And if you ever feel like your thoughts are holding you back, I know I have many, many, many examples in my life where it really felt like I couldn't do what I wanted to do or what I knew I should do or, knew I could do, never mind should. But it is really just the thoughts in your head. And I help show people that they can use the thoughts in their heads to create the life they love, to overcome procrastination, limiting beliefs, silence the inner critic, and do all of those things through journaling, through the simple act of daily journaling.
Love that. Love that. And we were talking the other day about the impact of really talking to your target audience. And you shared a wonderful example of a client who is using your journals for good. Do you want to talk us through that story?
Yeah, so we have a range of different journals, and I've spoken to you on many occasions about how do we reach our target audience? How do we really understand our target audience? And actually, this one client came up almost organically. It was crazy because I had just reached out to him to connect, and we started talking about what we did and why we're now living in Spain and what we do from here, and talking about the business and the journals that we create. And he was like, oh, wow, I love it. And immediately it was like, oh my God, there's a connection here. There's something that we can do to help each other. And what we've done with this client is we've used our journal, we've used a product that we already have, but branded the outside, branded the cover in a way that matched him and matched his brand. So branded it with his colors and his logo, etc., and put his story in the front of the book too. And he now uses this journal to give it out to all of his clients, to all of his staff, because he believes in the power of journaling. He's used it in his own life, and he knows the good that it can do. And he uses this as his own branding exercise to give to his clients, which is like a fantastic win-win situation.
Well, that's fabulous, isn't it? And so the power of your message is being spread by him.
Yeah. And he's doing good. Like I know that our message is spreading, and I know that we are getting out there too. But what's even more important for me is that he's doing the same. Like it doesn't have to be a give and take situation. It can be a win-win situation with every client that you work with. And this is what's, together with you, what you've been telling me is how I understand how understanding your client's needs can create a win-win situation. You don't have to feel like you're taking anything from them. You can give and they can give, and you can create something wonderful for everyone. That's the collaboration example you spoke about earlier.
Absolutely. And with this client, you could have just created one journal for him, right? You could have done your normal and gone, oh, great, you love a journal. Let me give you a journal. But you didn't. You heard his needs and then you created something bespoke, which then actually is business for you, but fantastic for him. So that's exactly what I talk about all the time, right? Listening to your clients.
And it didn't need big adjustments, nothing huge, no big changes were needed. Like you said, we didn't need to create a whole new journal for him. We just needed to understand him, and he's come back to us several times, and sometimes with small tweaks to make. Like they did a rebranding exercise too, so they changed all their colors, and we were able to easily just change the colors on the cover, send it out to him. He can continue to use it. It's an easy process for both us and for them.
Fantastic, fantastic. And I know that I'm not popular with, I don't niche, as you know, according to personas. I don't say draw a little man or woman and, you know, what are they wearing? And I mean, that helps some people, absolutely. And if it helps, you go for it. But my niching is on pain point, right? That's how I like helping people, is what is the pain point of your clients? And so someone who's looking to change their mindset has a different pain point, and you service them in a different way to this client who was looking to actually help his clients change their mindset. Like, it's completely different pain points. So already there's two clear niches for you there, right? And that's how I niche on pain point. What is it they need?
And that was the biggest realization for me, because I struggled so many times to draw my, what was it called, avatar. Right? I was told, draw your avatar. Imagine who your perfect client is. You know, is it a woman in their mid-40s with 2 children that's just left their corporate career? Like I was describing myself, right? Okay, I'm my perfect avatar. But then that's when you feel like you're put into a box. That's when, like, this, I can only sell to women who are in their 40s who have 2 children and left their jobs. And like that feels so restrictive. Where actually, what I have can meet the need, or what you call the pain point, of so many people out there if I speak to the pain point. Because who doesn't have limiting beliefs, right?
Exactly.
Who doesn't have an inner critic in your head that constantly tells you, I can't do this, or I shouldn't do that, or, you know, whatever. We all have that message. So speaking to that pain point means I can speak to more people more openly, in a more relaxed and a more confident way.
Absolutely. And you've actually mentioned a key point. I was talking to someone else the other day about they have a staff member who is not good with people, let's put it that way. And they wanted to help the staff member change. But the problem is, this person thought they were good with people. So even though we all have self-limiting beliefs, exactly the same, if someone doesn't realize they have it, they're not your audience, right? Because they don't know it. So the pain point, that's why I use the word pain, because it has to be at the forefront of what they're thinking about. Yes, we all have self-limiting beliefs, but if you think you're wonderful, and there are people like this, we meet them all the time. If you think you're awesome, you can do no wrong, it's everyone else who's an idiot, right? Like, and we meet people like that. That person is not for you. So hence I use the word pain, because it has to be on the surface. There has to be an awareness of the need. And if you go chasing, and this is my giraffes don't eat steak example, if you go chasing people who aren't aware that they have the problem, you know, and that's where people think, oh no, it's education, I need to just no, if they're not aware, you are going to put so much effort and so much time into trying to convince them, where actually they're people who are aware and who need you now. Just go find them, right?
And the amazing thing is, once you understand who that person is, what that niche is, or that pain point is, there are actually enough people out there it's not like there's just a small handful of people. There are so many people out there that fit that exact pain point that you're talking about. It's like you don't have to worry that you're not going to make enough sales, or you're going to limit your sales. You're actually going to be making more because you are directly meeting the pain point of that person. And there are so many people out there that it's, again, a win-win for all.
Absolutely. And if you think about it, if you're talking about, I can solve this pain, right? The people who are actively aware of that pain will come running to you. So therefore your marketing's even easier. It's not, you're not pushing, right? This is where sales and marketing becomes sleazy and, all this kind of stuff. It's because you're pushing, you're trying to force your product or service down the throat of someone who's like, leave me alone. Whereas if you're there and they're putting up their hand going, please help me. You've said the right words. I'm here. It feels better for you, right? Because you're not feeling sleazy and slimy and all the rest of it. Feels better for them because they're actually getting help. I'm so lazy, you know that about me because you know me my whole life. But I'm lazy, right? I want the easy road. I don't want to work hard. So I'm like, why would you work hard? Take the easy road.
This is what I love about how MindShift Theory and marketing actually talk the same message, because so much about the mind and the brain is about efficiency, right? So the brain always wants to take the most efficient route. Like that's why we create any habit we have, because we want to create something that's efficient for us to do. We don't have to think about it. We don't have to force ourselves to do it. And we use that at MindShift. We use that concept at MindShift Theory of doing things the easy way to create the habits that you want to create. So whatever it is, whether, I don't know, you want to stop smoking, or you want to start exercising, or you want to start meditation, or, whatever the thing is you want to create in your life, you can actually do it enough times to make it easy to do. Does that make any sense? Like you can...
Absolutely.
Practice it enough times. Like there's a rule in neuroplasticity, which is the science of how the brain, that the brain is changeable. There's a rule that says the more you repeat, and how does it go? I should know this. We get better at what we repeat and focus on, and that's because our brain loves efficiency. Whatever you do, the more you do it, the more your brain thinks, oh, this is easy, this is the way I should do it, and wants to continue doing it, right?
Yeah,
and that's the easy way to go. And so you can actually use that understanding to create any habit that you want to. And understanding that the easy approach is actually the best approach. And maybe easy is not the right word. Maybe it's
automatic.
Yeah. Automation, habitual, because it's not easy to start doing it. Like it's hard to start doing it, but once you get into the process of doing it, it becomes easy to do. And this matches with what you were saying earlier about the client and the path you want to take, right? Because once you really understand that when you meet the needs of your clients and they have the need, you have the solution, when you find them, that's the easy way to do it. And it just makes it happen so much more smoothly.
But you're right, because it does take work to get to that point. You have to do the work to understand not only the need they have, but the language they're talking, how they will display the need. So what signs are they going to give you that says, I have this need? So there's work up front. It's not that you wake up and go, I know them. And maybe that's why avatars are easier, because it's physical, right? Because it's physical. You can draw it. You can picture it.
Yeah.
Where pain and need is harder. It's harder to see. You can't buy a database of people who have self-limiting beliefs, right? It's not that easy. But once you figure out, people with self-limiting beliefs do this and this and this, act like this, usually belong to the coaching groups because, yeah, they're thinking of, I need coaching. Or like, so how do they behave? Where do they hang out? Who do they talk to? That's the work. But once you know it, hey, you just pitch up where they are. You just talk to what they want to, then it's easy. But there is work. So I agree with you. Absolutely.
The interesting thing that that you also helped me unpack or uncover was that once you do the work, you figure out that you are actually your perfect avatar, right? In most businesses, you have created something, whether it's a product or a service, whatever it is, that helps people because it helped you.
You who it used to be.
Yeah.
That the past you that needed this help. Absolutely. Time and time again, I find that with my clients is the business they've created is to help the past them.
Yeah.
The them they were. And that's also part of the problem, is because they're creating marketing based on who they are now. And actually who they are now doesn't need this help. It's who they were. So it's about saying, stop, don't think about how you make decisions now. How did you make decisions then? Because that's who you're helping, the past you, not the now you.
Yeah.
But it's so weird. I met 3 clients this week, exactly the same in all 3. Exactly the same. They were building businesses because of the past them. And it's so, yeah, it always just gives me a little smile when it happens, where I'm like, oh, yep, happened again.
But it's crazy because it's that, again, that limiting belief that keeps popping up. Like you know that you've moved from your past you to your present you, right? But there's always that little niggly thing inside which makes you question and makes you doubt. But the beauty in that is that you can use your own experience,
Yeah.
right? And this is where selling comes in, because I hate selling. I can't sell to anybody, but what I can do is talk genuinely about my own experience and the own obstacles I've overcome, and I can be authentic about it, right? And that I'm not perfect where I am right now, but I know that I've come a very, very a long way, right? And I know that there are things that I can do to help me overcome any obstacles that I have now. And so I can use my own story. And this is another, I don't know, marketing trick. I like to think of it like another way to sell, but it's not selling. It's just talking about how in my own experience, I had this problem. I found a solution. It worked for me. I've moved forward. And actually, this is something that can help everybody.
And it's so powerful because you're ticking a lot of, and again, if I go to like the theory of marketing, you're ticking so many theoretical marketing tips: authenticity, storytelling. Everyone loves a story. Personal testimonial. Everyone wants to know, show me that it worked. Like, where's the proof, right? So by just doing that, by just telling your story, you're actually ticking a lot of theory in marketing, going tick, 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 without even knowing it. And so you're doing the right thing. And it's the same when I talk to people about LinkedIn, for example. They know the audience is there, but I don't know what to say. Okay, what would you say to I use it conversationally, right? Like, what did I think about this morning? And as part of the habit building, I know that's something every morning at 7 o'clock, that's what I do, is do my LinkedIn post, right? It's part of my habit, get into it. Don't beat myself up if I've missed a day. That's not the end of the world, right? But it's about building the habit and saying, how am I helping my audience today? What value am I giving? Let's talk about what happened to me this week because it's relevant.
It is. And there's so much that happens to you in the week that is relevant to what you do, right? And you can come up with so many just real stories. that you can share and that actually add value and are interesting to people. And it's like, it doesn't have to be difficult.
No, I think when you get into, and especially, I always have, I don't know, my heart just drops when I hear someone go, I read a book. Or I watched the Simon Sinek video. I don't hate Simon Sinek, but I'm so tired of people who watch his video and think they know everything about marketing. And it's like, that's not it, right? It's one piece of it. People who are like, oh, I use AI now. I don't need a copywriter anymore. Okay. But and so, the shortcuts that people are using are the wrong shortcuts.
Yeah.
They will be I suppose it's similar in your line of work. There'll be shortcuts for a short period of time, like exercising, right? You use the wrong shortcut, which is like New Year's resolutions. Yeah, I'm going to go to the gym. Okay, after 3 days, are you still going? No, because you used the wrong shortcut. Okay. And the same with marketing. Yeah, it'll work for 3 days. And then because it's not the right hook, it's not the right, sorry, Simon Sinek, it's not the right why.
Yeah.
It won't last. And that's the work you do as well, right? Is finding the long-lasting thing, the thing that'll keep the change.
Or actually, the way I look at it, the way I like to see it, and I think the mistake that we make is we try and find the one thing, right?
Yeah.
We listen to the book, we listen to the podcast, whatever it is, we read the book, we watch the video, and we're like, that's the thing I need to do, and that's the thing that's going to make everything better, right? So I'm going to exercise and run every day, and that's going to make everything better. Or I'm going to do this one marketing thing, and that's going to make everything better. Where actually it's not the one thing, or it is and it isn't, right? It's not only the one thing, but you have to understand how that one thing connects to the other things, right? And how doing all of them habitually, the practice of habits, right, creates this process in your brain, which is automatic, and you don't have to think about it and stress about it so much anymore. But you have to do them all, right? You have to understand your target audience. You have to speak to the need. You have to, do all the marketing things.
Pitch up.
Pitch up. Pitch up and care.
Pitch up and care, absolutely. But I mean, it doesn't matter if you understand your audience, but you just sit in your office and don't move, right? That's woohoo. Okay, so no one's ever going to know you exist, but you understand them. Well done.
And the same with the understanding the mind and using the power of the mind to create this life that you love, right? You've got to pitch up, you've got to put in the effort, you've got to do the work, you've got to take the small tiny steps. What is the way I put it? Like, every day take one more small step in the direction you want to go, and you will eventually get there, right? It doesn't matter how big the step, how small the step is, just take one more step in the direction you want to go. It doesn't matter if one day you don't do it, right? You don't beat yourself up about it, because it's not about how many times you fall, but about how many times you get back up and you keep taking the next step forward. So just do that one small thing, like just every day, one more tiny thing in the direction you want to go. And I feel the same about marketing, because marketing has always been, or at least what I've told myself, it's always been my biggest struggle, the thing I can't do, right? But actually there's so much that I can do, and you've helped me really understand this, that there's so much that I can do. There's so much that I can do by just being me. I don't have to be Simon Sinek. I don't have to do what other people are doing. I can just be me, and I can just do me. And actually that will resonate with my audience.
Absolutely. I met someone this week where I was told straight out, I will tell you, I don't like being visible. I don't want to be on LinkedIn. I don't want to do videos. I don't want to do anything. She said, I'm an introvert, and that's not where I go. So I said, would it surprise you to know that I'm also an introvert? Like, absolutely. So I said, it's not about forcing you to do things you don't want to do, but we know that for your business to grow, people have to know you exist. So we find a balance that will still let people know you exist, but won't push you so far. I said, I will push you a little bit, but won't push you so far that you stop doing it because it's uncomfortable and messy, right? And I said, the example is me, for example. I am comfortable talking marketing. I'm not that comfortable talking me. So 90% of my posts are marketing because that's my space, right? I can talk marketing. I'm getting better at slipping in a little bit of me now and again, but that is my work, right? That's my process. But I'm still visible. I'm able to talk about my customers' pain points and how I can help them. But I haven't pushed myself that I'm doing TikTok videos and, all of that stuff, which I will probably do for 3 days and then stop going. And so she was really happy with that, and that we have a plan to grow the business, because you still have to do that, right? If you're a business owner, you still have to get out there and be known, but in a way that can be authentically you and comfortably you.
Yeah, that word comfortable. You can just take that small comfortable step. In fact, that's exactly what I was thinking this morning when I went on my run. Now, I have tried to build a running habit in my life. You know that, right? But actually for the past 2 weeks, well, for the first week I was sick and so wasn't able to run. And then it took me a whole nother week to get back into the right frame of mind to get back to running. And so I was running this morning and it wasn't as easy. I haven't been running for 2 weeks, and so it was harder. And I got to about halfway through the run and I just wanted to stop and I wanted to walk. And so what I said to myself, what I asked myself is, what can I do? Right? And okay, I can just get to the next light post. I can just get to the next tree. I can just put one small foot in front of the other in the direction I want to go. And little by little, I eventually got to the end. And that's freaking marketing, right?
It is. You're marketing to yourself.
What is the little small thing that I can do, right? Because when I do it, then what happens actually, brain chemical stuff, I release dopamine in my body that makes me feel good, that makes me want to do more of it. It makes me do it again. Like, wow, this is amazing. I could use neuroscience to achieve anything I want to.
Absolutely. My kids volunteer at a junior park run. So it's from age 4 to 11. So it's littlies, right? And I watch this. I've been to watch a few times. And sometimes the parents are with these kids. And it's a 2-kilometer little run, which is a little far for these littlies, right? And that's exactly what they do to their kids. They're like, well, shall we run to the next little pole? And then you see the kids go, yes. And then they run to the next pole. They're like, yay. Okay, shall we run to the next pole? And then they also have, my kids are marshals, and they stand with those big wavy hands. High five, come and give me a high five. So it's just about building the little dopamine steps for these kids till they do the 2-kilometer run. And then the end, they get a little award and it's just all rah-rah. And it's how do we build that in our in our marketing path, in our daily lives to build the life we want? How do we build those little dopamine steps to say, right, what is the next thing I'm going to do? And then reward it, right? Going, yay, good job. Let's go again. Love it, Shell. We can talk for hours, which we have done on occasion, much to the despair of our families. How can people find you if they want to talk more about the brain and your beautiful journals?
Well, our brand MindShift Theory is anywhere where you think you can find us. So we're on all social media platforms, on YouTube, and then our website, which is mindshifttheory.io. And yeah, wherever you are, we try to be there. So just search MindShift Theory and you will come up.
Fantastic. Any last message you want to leave for our listeners today?
That's a good question. One thing that's come up for me a lot recently is just saying yes, right? About just taking that next small step. And that's what I've done. Or that's what I feel I've done for the past year. And so that's the message I want to leave out there. If you think you can't, or you think it's impossible, that's going to be true. So if you change your mind and think differently, that will also be true. So just take the next small step in the direction you want to go.
Love that. Love that. Thank you so much. It's been so awesome chatting to you. Well, on camera this time, but love you lots, and I will see you again soon.
Thank you for having me. We'll chat again soon.
Bye.
Bye.
That wraps up this episode of Giraffes Don't Eat Steak. Thanks for joining us. I hope you found value in our discussion and got some new ideas to apply to your own business. Tune in next week for another round of marketing insights and inspiration. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. We appreciate you listening. Catch you next time on Giraffes Don't Eat Steak.